Hello, welcome back to Learn Economy. Here we are continuing with the Higgs Hansen Samuelson ISLL transformation. I have done previously two videos with respect to this topic. Actually, we are continuing with the same topic. I'll be providing the links of the previous two videos in the description box. You can so that you can have a continuity. After watching those videos, you can come back and watch this video. So we were discussing the Keynesian crows and how Higgs Hansen Samuelson approach was actually with respect to these kinds of things. We can see in this case ISLM model, the IS is a negatively sloped line and LM is a positively sloped line, and at the intersection point of IS and LM we can determine the goods market equilibrium and money market equilibrium simultaneously. So we will be able to get the income as well as the interest rate, which is the equilibrium rate of the interest rate and the equilibrium level of income, which would be which would make the both the markets at a rate of equilibrium. I mean at a point of equilibrium. Here we can see what will happen if the IS or LM shifts, or what would happen if there is a change in the disequilibrium, change in the equilibrium. If there is any changes in the economy, it can shift either the IS or LM, either backward or forward. Either backward or forward means either left or right. It will change the initial equilibrium point or initial equilibrium position. So if you look into the case of the first quadrant, in the first quadrant, it is shown that there is excess supply of goods and excess demand for money. That is the first quadrant. And in the second quadrant, there is excess demand for goods and excess demand for money. In the third quadrant, excess demand for goods is there and excess supply of money is there. And in the fourth quadrant, excess supply of goods and excess supply of money is there. Now, we can see that Axis has carefully noticed one cannot really superimpose a stock equilibrium over a flow equilibrium because their time references are different. The stock is always at a point of time. We are referring to the concept at a point of time, and in the case of flow, we are actually referring to over a period of time. So stock is a concept which would always which would always tell about a point of time and flow over a period of time. So we must realize that at a point on the LM curve, this implies that a stock equilibrium. Thus, by definition, the demand for wealth equals the supply of wealth. Planned savings would translate into additional demand for wealth, and planned investment would translate into additional supply of wealth. This is by superimposing the stock constraint all the times. It can never be that the flow constraint is in disequilibrium. So there's a planned investment equals saving at all times as well. These are just a few of the many difficulties which is implied in the ISLM depiction of the Keynesian model. If there is a rightward shift in the IS curve, there would be a consequent new equilibrium at a higher level of output and interest rate, and we can see an increase in the money supply, falls in general price level, lower money demand, etc., all leading to the rightward shift of the LM curve. Thus, there will be a higher level of output and level of interest rate. Latent efficacy of financial policy. This is always reflected with the help of a IS curve, and in the case of monetary policy, if there is any changes, this is reflected in the case of LM curve. These would depend crucially on the slope of IS and LM curves, and thus on the interest and income sensitivities of money demand, investment, consumption, expenditure, all the categories. A relatively steep LM curve and flat IS curve would imply monetary policy is highly effective, whereas in the case of opposite case, relatively flat LM curve and steep IS curve would imply that fiscal policy is highly effective. There can be many stories which could be told by using the Higgs-Hansen ISLM diagram. Almost this permits one to overlook the logical as well as theoretical difficulties which underlie. It is evident that there have been many prominent Keynesian economists like Sitorsky, Leonard, etc. They have used this particular apparatus, the ISLM model, they told that this is considered to be a coherent tool which is used to express a Keynesian general theory, but it is considered to be having certain its own limitations as well. So that's all for today. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe to this channel for more videos. And please be a part of my Telegram group and Telegram channel. I'll be providing the links of the same in the description box.